Welcome to Landscapes of Consciousness. My name is Michael Sternfeld, and we're about to go on a little journey, a journey exploring one of our favorite subject areas, the domain of consciousness. And I'm here with my friend and colleague, Harri Aalto.
Very pleased to be here, Michael.
And I'm glad too. So I think we should tell a little bit where this idea got started to explore this area of consciousness. I've actually had the good fortune of meeting with Harri Aalto in a small group of people every Saturday for lunch for the last 3 years. And our purpose was to exchange and explore our experiences in growing consciousness. And it's been an absolutely fascinating process, a real growth process for all of us. And we decided it was so rich that we decided to share this with you in this video series. And with that, I think we should just dive in. And whenever we start thinking about consciousness, I always like to examine it in the first place, just at the beginning. Why even talk about consciousness? What's the value of exploring it in the first place?
It is a little bit interesting to talk about consciousness as a field of exploration, right? We don't usually think of it that way. And in my case, I've always had some kind of inner experience, something going on inside, and I've always felt compelled to look at it because it's there. So, you could kind of say seeing is believing. So I have this inner awareness, and I look at it and I can talk about it, and so can you, and so can anybody else. And depending on the clarity of that inner consciousness, you can describe its details, just kind of like a landscape.
And that's an interesting title. I love the title, Landscapes of Consciousness, because I really see you, Harri, as an artist of consciousness. Meaning, and you are an artist, you're both a design artist and a fine artist, and I think you see the world in a very artistic way, and you also see your inner world in a very artistic way. So as these inner experiences have begun to grow, what was the draw? What was the thing that pulled you in? I mean, what was the value of it?
Any genuine inner experience, intrinsic to the experience, is some satisfaction. There's something good happening. There's something intriguing, something delightful there. And as a visual person, I'm always looking for a sight or something that I can see, right? An inner experience has a quality of seeingness to it. The knowingness of pure consciousness has a quality of luminescence or sight to it. And you can actually begin to paint that or draw that or talk about that. And it compels itself, inner experience compels itself to talk, to paint, to visualize.
That's interesting. There was once a wise sage that once told me that this person...
Other than you mean?
Other than me, yeah. There was this person, actually this person was from Finland, Harri is from Finland, was talking to this wise sage and said, they wanted to start an art academy, and I can say who this was, and I think we're going to come back to this later. It was Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, the founder of Transcendental Meditation, and he said to this person who really wanted to, found this art academy in Finland, said, "I'll show you some real art." And that always struck me very deeply, because in a way, this inner domain of consciousness is a place of real art, not to demean the other areas of the fine arts, but what is so artistically rich about it and attractive for you that it's worth spending all these years exploring its details?
Often consciousness is thought of as a field of silence or even emptiness. I've never experienced it like that only. I've always experienced that there is this silence, there is this expansion, there is this field of unboundedness. However, along with that, there's this liveliness there, and this liveliness attracts you to look at consciousness itself, to see what there is, what its structure is, if there is a structure. And over years, as I look into myself, as I look into this inner world of the movement of consciousness or the liveliness of consciousness, I see the structure of that consciousness as layers.